Beer, glorious beer. The very thought of this complex beverage conjures up so many different images. No wonder it's the third most popular drink in the world behind water and tea. Throughout world history and at today's cutting edge of technology, you will find beer. On the tables of the rich and the poor, in almost every human situation of note, you will find beer. I'm John Riggins, and I've always loved my beer. Beer is a thing we think we know, but do we really? Join me each week as we investigate the world of flavor, aroma, art, and science that is beer. This week, I've landed myself in one of Washington, D.C.'s best-kept secrets, downtown Alexandria on the waterfront. Established in 1749, this bustling port town was brimming with Scottish and Irish immigrants. And what did they drink? Beer, and a whole lot of it. Nearly 270 years later, the folks who come to take in the charm of the waterfront do the same thing in the many pubs and restaurants that line the streets. Alexandria was once home to 11 breweries before statewide prohibition in 1911. It wasn't until 2011 that the Port City Brewing Company would open its doors and be the first production brewery in 100 years.
Bill Butcher, I presume.
Hey, John, how are you?
I'm fine.
Welcome.
Real pleasure.
Glad to see you.
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, come on in.
It's never, it's always beer 30 around my house, so this is really what we need. Oh, we're going to go to the hey, bonus
we got the
round.
taps open for you.
Bonus round.
Port City is my kind of place. They have 9 beers on tap, and their wit has won the gold medal at the Great American Beer Festival in 2013, and I couldn't wait to try one.
This is an interesting beer. I've never had anything like that. In fact, when you drink it, it doesn't really have a typical beer flavor. Would you say that?
I would agree. And this is a beer that we serve to people when they tell us they don't like beer, they prefer white wine. This is the kind of beer we would serve them.
Yeah.
This beer has very little hops in it, so it's easy to drink, it's very refreshing and crisp, and it gets that citrus flavor from the orange peels that are in the beer.
All right, let me look around and make sure we don't have any spies here. Okay, you ready? I got a little quiz for you, Bill. What country per capita drinks the most beer in the world?
Per capita, I'd have to guess Germany.
I don't even think they're, well, they might be in the top 5.
Okay.
It's the Czechs.
Okay, really?
And they are so far ahead of who's ever in second place, it ain't even funny.
Is that right?
The reason I'm telling you all this, I'm Czech. So just so you know what you're getting into.
Terrific.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Brew Stories. Welcome back to Brew Stories, and I'm about to get a tour from owner Bill Butcher at the Port City Brewing Company in Old Town Alexandria, Virginia.
I guess, is it a democracy down here, or are you the tyrant that really runs everything?
I like to say that everybody has a vote here, but it is not a democracy.
Okay, that explains everything. There was a time when this country first started, there was a brewery almost on every corner, so to speak. Every little town had their own brewery,
Yep.
or that area had, and the big boys kind of went in and just sucked it all up.
The more we looked at it, we found that craft beer is growing. It's grown every year since 1999. And the more my wife and I looked at it, we found that D.C. was the only big city in the country that didn't have a microbrewery like this. So we thought that if we could do something of very high quality, that people would go for it.
Now this is an IPA, Bill?
Yeah, this is the Monumental IPA. This is our flagship IPA. It was brewed about a month ago, and we dry hopped it a couple of weeks ago. So it's had plenty of time to sit on the hops and absorb the hop flavor and aroma.
I'm gonna hate leaving here. Well, let's see what else you got over here. Well, are you drinking that?
Yeah, this is our Monumental IPA. Now you tasted this back out of the tank. So it had been dry hopped and it was slightly carbonated, but this is the finished version of it. So it's fully carbonated. It's been clarified. It's a bit more clear. It's not sitting on the hops and the yeast anymore.
I'd like to say, they just keep getting better. What do you have for dessert?
We got our porter. We got a nice
Oh,
dark
hell, we
beer
gotta
for
do
dessert.
that.
Yeah.
Next time you're in D.C., make sure you pay a visit to Old Town Alexandria and stop by the Port City Brewing Company to wet your whistle. That's it for today. Hope to see you next week for more Brew Stories.